Good evening, friends. Welcome to this session of Candid Meena. Today we have a very special guest. His name is Karthik Tirunarayan, and he's the director of a big software company and author of a book called PM Modi, uh, uh, PM Modi's Government of Bharat 2024, which is a first of a kind book where a government poll promise has been matched with its successful delivery. So, welcome, Karthik.
Namaste,
Real
ma'am.
pleasure to
Great to
have you
absolutely.
with us.
Thank you for hosting me on your show. Wonderful show, and my sincere thanks and wishes to you and your entire audience, ma'am. Thank you.
So it's very interesting to have a person who's into IT, writing a book, and that too on PM Modi's achievements, which seem you don't know where to start and where to end because there are so many things you can talk about and it never ends. So it's a great achievement, Karthik.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks for your wonderful wishes.
Yeah. So Karthik, do tell me, like, how did you start? You start this. What exactly inspired you to write this book? Because this is the first book that covers everything about government's election manifesto, promise, and successful delivery. And I can see that the book is in English and Tamil. How
Yes.
much time did you take to write it?
Yeah.
And also, what was your inspiration, as we say?
Yeah. I mean, thanks for it's a great question. This was the first thing in my mind when I started writing this book. Uh, I always like a line of our Honorable People Prime Minister Modi ji. He always says that whatever the nation achieves or whatever the nation is recognized, he always says that the credit goes to 140 crore people. Okay, every time, even he goes across the globe, the awards we receive, the recognition, everything he dedicates to the people of Bharat. So I said, the duty of a responsible government is to deliver good governance and development. Likewise, the duty of a responsible citizen is to support that government which delivers development. I
Yeah.
think that made me to say that I'm a responsible citizen and I should make the common people to understand how good governance was delivered in past 10 years by this great prime minister. That was the inspiration to write this book, ma'am. Yes, you said very rightly. uh, I didn't have any time, to be very honest. I wrote it in 3.5 months. Uh, Beyond my office hours, which used to be hectic, I slotted my time in the night between 9:30 to 9:30 p.m. in the night to 2:30 a.m. in the morning. That's the time I used to write this book. But when I went through the various things, what was said in the manifesto, ma'am, for example, let me point out. In 2014, there were 50 odd countries went in for the election across the globe, including the developed countries like US or could be in Africa or could be Europe. 50 odd countries went to election in 2014. But if you pick up what those countries are after 10 years against what our country, it's phenomenal difference. The commitment of the government with the poll manifesto. I mean, I'll give a very simple example. We are all measured by what we say and what we deliver, right? It could be our during education time, the set of questions given to us, and we have to answer those questions, and we are gauged by that. It could be even my office work, right? I have set of things which I'm supposed to do, and I deliver that I'm the best person. So, like that, the government have to be measured on the poll manifesto, what they
Yeah.
say and what they successfully deliver. And this is the first government in the world which has massively delivered the poll promise on every segment. So that was really inspiring me. Where there is no freebie, number one, no freebie. Number two, there's no appeasement, absolute no appeasement. Number three, they delivered what they said. So this was really inspiring. And I want to contribute to our Honorable PM a gift, what he has done so much for the country. So this book is a gift to him. And also one more thing is, ma'am, is this book is free. I did not price this book because this book belongs to 140 crore people. As I said, the book is also in Tamil because you would know Anamalaji in Tamil Nadu. Um, he's a vibrant force in Tamil Nadu for every Tamilian in the state.
Yes.
He spends 20 hours a day. He spends 20 hours a day on ground. And his recent Yen Makkal Yatra, which was the Yenman Yen Makkal Yatra, eh, he spent 20 hours connecting every segment of people from rural to urban to semi-urban. So once he completed his yatra, I want to give a contribution, what he has done. I want to give a gift. So the Tamil book is the gift to him.
Great. Yeah. And also, it's based, what I wanted to ask you is that, see, being an IT person, did language come to you very easily? Or what's the kind of language that you've used? Have you used simple language or literary language? What is the kind of language that you have used in this?
Absolutely simple, ma'am. So one more point I would like to share. When I thought of writing this book, I interviewed 35 people across the country.
Yeah.
And I asked what I should write, and I gave them few options. They said, the first point they said is, we would love to know what this government has promised and delivered in a crisp, easy manner that we can understand. Don't write too many things where we don't want to read too many things, but we want to understand a point bulleted way what the government promised and delivered. So I went through when I said, okay, let me make it very simple for a common responsible citizen to learn what it is, right? So you would have seen in my book where I would have shown you what they promised was there and how against each promise they delivered. So I have to go through all ministries' annual reports every year for past 10 years. And that's where I could easily put each bullet wise to say that these are the developments we delivered.
Yeah. So which means, Karthik, you had hardly any time for your family. So was there any groups from that side?
I mean, so I'm a single person, to be honest. So, but yes, what my mother and my sister, more than my friends, my colleagues, very few colleagues in my office would know that I'm just writing this book. But more than that, I would say that God's blessing was there, ma'am. That's more very important, right? When you task something to do as a mission mode, you need God's blessing than anything else. So I'm lucky to have God's
and it's
blessing.
also, I guess, it's also the need of the moment for people to be aware of what is happening in India, because half the people are being fooled into thinking, certain parties are delivering, things which they're not delivering. It's all a, hypocrisy that they are indulging in. So,
no, very important.
In the last, please.
Sorry, ma'am.
Please go ahead. No, please go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely said. So, I mean, what happens is being not only a voter, ma'am, and what I want to really give a clarity here is that, is this book only for during the election? The answer is no. This book is for every citizen to understand. I would like to segment it into two ways, ma'am. This 10 years, it is first 5 years. This government gave a foundation of change, which was badly needed, right? If you allow me just 2 minutes, I want to tell you how the nation was there in 2013, so that you need to know what is the background, right? When someone comes in and takes over something to bring a change, what was the situation in the backdrop? Right?
Before that,
can I explain that, ma'am, in 2 minutes?
Yeah, please.
So let's rewind our memories back to 2013. So in 2013, what was the nation situation? In 2013, our nation was called capital of corruption, right? We were the top fragile 5 economies in the globe. 35 crore poor people did not have bank accounts. 20 crore poor farmers did not have soil health card. 19 crore poor people did not have accident and life insurance. 18 crore poor farmers did not have the crop insurance. 18 crore poor people could not have any small loan access. 14 crore poor farmers could not have again the insurance part. 9 crore poor women actually did not have toilets. 7 crore poor women did not have LPG gas. 18,600 villages did not have electricity. 3 lakh fake companies looted our nation's economy. So, at the scale of 2013, if we measure the development, we would have taken 60 years to overcome these challenges. But since we got a patriotic poor mother's honest son, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, as our Prime Minister, these challenges were converted as development in just 60 months. Yes, in just 60 months. So this is what people have to really know, right? So from where the nation was and where he has gotten the nation, that is very critical to know, understand. And this have to be explained to everyone, not only within us, man. Every citizen has to understand how the nation has gone to the cycle of development.
See, for people like us, the most important thing, as far as I can see, is that, see, I don't need to carry any money anymore, as in currency. Yeah. So everybody, right from the vegetable vendor to anybody who comes, they have, we just have to pay through Google or through payphone or whatever. So this is the biggest thing for the common man. Because
Yeah.
whenever you travel, the first thing you worry about is how much money to take from your bank, what to do, the hotel payments, whatever. So here now he has given you such a smooth payment, and that also so much of transparency. So where the
Absolutely.
money is coming from, where is it going.
Absolutely.
So the corruption is also being rooted out that way. Now, like this, the same way in the case of medicines, people were not able to afford medicines, and they were paying through their nose. And now you have Modi's shops where everything is available at very, very low cost. So he's
90%.
yes,
90% lower than the market price.
yeah. So he's changed so many things. These are just one or two we are talking about. And all my, the people who work with us, they say that they've got, flats, and they are now going to live, in dignity. So all
Absolutely.
these things kept, put together. What has the, political parties before this ever done for the people? Is the question. So
Absolutely.
what you have compiled is so important for everybody to know and to also to share with others.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
my next question is: in the last 10 years, you covered both the term manifesto 2014 and 2019. What
Yes.
interesting analysis could you notice when compared with the 2024 manifesto?
I think very, very interesting question you have asked. So I would go in a two way. So when you said 2014, so the 2014, as I said, there was a massive foundation of change the country went into it. You would have known multiple ways of development. Let it be free toilets, or let it be a Swachh Bharat initiative, or could be the free LPG gas to people, or the free bank accounts. Right? I'll give a very interesting aspect which may not a lot of people may not know into it.
Yeah.
Uh, when Honorable People Prime Minister PM Modi ji took over, he asked first question he asked if you look at interestingly, I want everyone to go through the 2014 manifesto, ma'am. Why? Because 2014 manifesto is the first manifesto in the world which is more inclusive and more independent, and it is development oriented, nation first, people welfare centric, and more importantly is that future focused. He segmented into 5 levels. attend the imminent attend the imminent is the first one. Second, widen the framework. Third is reform the system, widen the platform. Fifth one is leap forward. So what he had a massive vision way back in 2014 itself, how many nation have to move forward. I'll give a simple example, man. How to stop corruption. So he could see there was a big hole of called corruption. I mean, absolutely shaking the nation. He straight away said, let's open a bank account for the poor. Before 2014, there were only 23 welfare schemes were connected through direct benefit transfer. Direct benefit transfer is what government subsidy is given to the poor people, right?
Yeah.
But out of 400 plus schemes, only 23 were linked in the previous term. He came and he said, why this is not happening? They said, poor doesn't have bank account. He said, bank account call though. Look at the way it sounds simple, but look, he did that. So today, you have so many people having the poor people having the bank accounts. He opened the bank account in 5 year term. I'm not talking about 10 year term. In
Yeah.
5 year term, 7.6 lakh crore were transferred to poor people with 437 schemes. This
Okay.
is a change in the nation. Else, imagine that 7.6 lakhs crore could have been looted. This
Yes.
is one big change. Second, I'll come to the middle class.
Yes.
Middle class, when I'm a middle class, let's say I buy a home, right? I pay something and I get frankly cheated in some way because the builder doesn't build on time and give it to me on time.
Yes.
My money is looted. I'm not protected. This was the ask for middle class for many years. Okay. The government introduced a regulatory called RERA, okay, which protected the middle class. No one can cheat the middle class. This was a phenomenal change they got in. And very importantly, ma'am, is that also they got in bankruptcy, the insolvency bankruptcy code, IBC we call it.
Yes.
You won't believe it. Earlier, the loans were given just left, right, and center by the previous government. On a phone, give the loans. But this is the first government which introduced called IBC, and you won't believe the government recovered, the banks and the creditors could recover 3 lakh crores, which is absolutely a big money. They also had certain things called Binomi property law. Okay. Binomi property law, under that, 50,000 crore Binomi properties were seized. Why I'm giving these examples, ma'am, is a lot of people, we don't understand the gravity of change this
Yes.
government got in first 5 years. First 5 years. And one more small, simple example, ma'am. The broad gauge railway tracks, electrification were done, due to which the government could save electricity, the fuel bill, basically the fuel bill, the diesel bill, right,
Yeah.
of 13,510 crores annually, which is, we might
Yeah,
not even
huge.
imagine the level of the government looked into it. So this
Yes.
is what
Yes.
the big change they're given in the first 5 years. The next 5 years, which is the development phase, man, there are many, but I want every citizen to know only these two aspects. COVID-19, right? Look at it. Any second term for a government is little easier because I have set the platform and I have to build on the platform.
Build on it.
But
Yes.
the moment this government started, man, COVID hit. And it's like, once of
They
a
had to go
kind in the
back.
world, in 100 years, we did not see such pandemic. This is the most efficient and people saving government in the world. The government is not saying. Stanford report is saying, because of this government's massive proactive initiatives, they could straight away serve the lives of 34 lakh people. We are not saying. Stanford is saying. We brought in 12 lakh Indians, Bharatiyas who were living abroad through 766 flight journeys, the nation could bring back. And there were 1,66,000 foreigners staying here. They were safely returned to their motherland. And the level of other developments, what we have seen beyond, it's unimaginable, but I've seen like COVID vaccination, 200 crore vaccination by the government, and you would have seen the COVID app. And on an app, I can know everything, where it is, what it is. And very interesting point, we should not forget. Post 2 years of saving the country from COVID, man, the country and the entire world faced one major economic crisis. Let's
Yeah.
not forget, that's a Ukraine-Russia war. So what I'm saying, the government starts in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2 years massively gone, COVID. The government really not only saved the people, it saved the economy also.
Yes.
Once
Yes.
it's recovering, you are hit by the Ukraine-Russia war, right? You would have seen how the government managed that globally, right? Ensured the fuel is coming in. 20,000 Bharatiyas were saved. 20,000 Bharatiyas were saved. With the war was stopped and the Bharatiyas were brought back. I think these are the things which I would rate it very high, ma'am, in the 10 years. And this 2024, when I compare, 5 years were a change. They created a platform of change, a foundation of change. On that, they created a framework of development the next 5 years. And the next 5 years is going to be the future for our nation, ma'am. So this election manifesto is for the future for the nation, for the developed Bharat 2047.
Yeah. So here, a question away from your book is that, see, you've done all this analysis very deeply. Now tell me about the person, okay? Modi, the person. How do you analyze him? Because people have various views of him. So before you wrote the book, you would have naturally thought about this man's psyche and his effect on the country and the world. So what is it? What is your view of the prime minister?
Yeah. So, I mean, you're right. People, but I see three basic things, man. Three basic things. When you talk about a nation's prime minister, that person and the designation and that role is to take the nation leap forward to the next level. So, three basic things are needed. A person should have quality, eligibility, right? And also he should have the basic part. Let's come the basic part, right? Much before he became the prime minister, or much before he became the chief minister, one level below will come down. He had spent 40 years of his life serving the nation daily 18 hours, much before he even became the chief minister.
Yes.
Then he serves 13 years as chief minister, right? So very interesting. You would know it because you are a very closely watch him. He is announced as chief minister. He generally goes to his mother to take blessings from mother. He goes to his mother and says, "Mother, bless me." So mother says that, beta, I could see there is some responsibility being given to you, big responsibility. So beta, promise me that in your entire life, you would not even take 1 rupee as bribery. He promises mother. And he maintains even till today in his entire life he's doing it. And one interesting part, a lot of people don't know, this 13 years chief ministership service salary, plus whatever the gift he received in that term of 13 years, he auctioned it and sold that. And he collected this money and gave it to the poor children's education before he went into Delhi. Look at the quality what he has, right?
Yeah.
This is what I would say that a person's greatness talks about. A common person with only two things, ma'am: nation first and development first attitude. This is what really inspired me to say that nothing else. You can see many other qualities in him, but I see a person with patriotism in blood and nation development in heart.
So why do you think that he has some enemies, both within and outside India?
Ma'am, I won't call them enemies. Rather, I would say people are jealous. Those are the sections we should bifurcate and tell them, ये लोग jealous है क्योंकि उनको ऐसे perform नहीं कर सकते. That's the point. There's a saying, right? I have an excellent performer and I have a poor person who can't even think about performing. So the poor person who can never do anything, he will only complain. So these people are really jealous and complaining, saying it, this guy is really transforming. That's the point. So I don't say he has enemies because he's such a great heart that he can never have enemies.
Yeah. So now, if you could look at the earlier term and the present term, what are two significant points you could see in both terms that have catapulted him to, this position as of now?
Yes, ma'am. So I think three people in my book also I mentioned. I credit three people who have been a pillar of support for the initial part when the government was formed. Respected Sushma Swaraj ji, respected Arun Jaitley ji, respected Manohar Parrikar ji. I think they were the three pillars who in 2014 has lifted the nation, along with Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, because that's my first respect, and I really contribute my work for them. The question what you asked, ma'am, two significant things if you look at. The first point is our foreign relations. Okay, look at the way today our nation is respected across the globe. If you take his first term, ma'am, he traveled extensively across the globe. His travel, and there were a lot of people who went criticize that he's always traveling. Look at it. He had a vision always way back in 2014 itself. In those 2 years, he extensively traveled. That travel only has reaped benefits to us today. So the most important is pride. Bolte na ma'am, what the family, about the family's achievement, it's not the family talks, the neighbor talks, right? So like that, today the nation pride and proud moments are being discussed, debated, and also recognized outside the globe on and only because of the dedication, commitment, and patriotism of Honorable People Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is first point, man. Second point is, let's all understand, 25 crore poor people have been lifted from the so-called below poverty line, right? What a great achievement the nation has gone through. What a great achievement. Let's add one more point to it. World's largest women empowerment scheme, from pregnancy to a women's old age. Our government is the only government in the world which comprehensively covers the entire umbrella. No country in the world, including US, does it. This is the only country which covers from the pregnancy till the old age of women. Very, very important. Second, coming down, ma'am, is that you won't believe it. Our defense, you would have agreed, the defense of our nation. So Prime Minister Modi ji did not only feel that we should get economically empowered, but the nation also have to be protected strongly from, it could be the Balakot strike, or it could be the local development. 411 defense equipments have been banned and it will be locally manufactured through the Atmanirbhar Bharat. From a mere 1,100 crores of export way back in 2014, today the country exports 16,000 crore worth defense equipments. So it is phenomenal. You call it from Agni's recent or so-called ASAT technology, where we have an anti-satellite technology missile. We are the very few countries in the globe who has such inbuilt technology. We can hit a satellite which is rotating about the Earth cycle. We can hit it. So we have a ASAT technology. We also have Agni. Recently, we tested where it has something called, when it re-enters the Earth orbit, it can target simultaneously many targets. This such technology is only in hand, and very 3-4 countries have this technology. We have this technology. So the message is that I'm also empowering my nation. At the same time, I'm also very powerfully protected. So no one can even have a bad eye on my country. Look at it. So these are the things I believe really inspired me, and these are the things I think everyone should know.
So, see, I have traveled quite extensively and lived in some other countries in the Middle East. So, first I was in Iraq, and there I remember when I was studying, and people used to say that, see, India is such a poor country, they don't even have rice to eat. So, that was the first experience. Second time when I went to other countries like New Zealand and all, the people would say that, oh, India is backward. Then when I was in Dubai, I saw when they had a poor opinion of Dubai, and then how the opinion of Dubai of our country changed completely as PM Modi started interacting with all of them, and the way he even got them to install our temple there in Abu Dhabi, one of the largest
Absolutely.
temples there. So
Absolutely.
it is only I believe that it is one man who has brought this change all around the world. This respect for Indians. Earlier, people did not look upon Indians as they used to think that we are poor and we need food and money. But now it's changed completely. And thanks to who? Thanks to Modi ji, because did the previous government do anything for us in this way to raise our status? Nothing. So
Absolutely.
as you say, the image has changed completely because of his travel and because of the way he has focused on progress and development. You know. So
Absolutely.
tell me something, Karthik. This book now, see, what will make people want to read your book?
Okay. So, ma'am, my request to humble request through your channel to our audience and also the common people is that spend 10 minutes a day, read 2 pages a day. Uh, why I'm saying 2 pages a day, and tell the youth at house in your homes, telling them, look how the nation got transformed. Just to your kids and to your friends and your relatives. Why this is more important, ma'am, is look at what a great opportunity we all have to be a part of this journey called Development Bharat, right? What a great opportunity we have to witness and contribute, basically. So, my humble request is read this book. That's the reason, ma'am, I don't say this is my book. I say it's a 140 crore people's book. That's the reason there's no price. Anyone can print, anyone can share, anyone can give it to anyone. So it is not my book; it is 140 crore people's book. It is their
Yeah.
contribution. It is which is written there in the book. So it is available, ma'am. One, the e-copy is there. Anyone can take it. Anyone can read it. So what I do is I print books. If someone wants it, they can request me. I can send the book that I give it free
So I think
from a
those
salary.
details you can give me, which I can
Sure.
post under the interview.
Yes, yes, ma'am. So if
Yeah.
anyone wants a special edition book, I'm reachable. I can send them ebook or a physical book.
Yeah.
That is also no price, to be honest. I give it from my salary. I
Also,
print
do
and
you
give it to
think
them.
it should be a part of the curriculum in schools? Because, see, we've been studying all sorts of nonsense in the
Absolutely.
name of history and distortion of history. So, if we have factual books like this, do you think it should be a part of our libraries so that people learn? Because, see, what you're trying to do is basically educate people on what's actually happening in India.
Absolutely, man. I think it's a great idea. What you suggested is really fantastic. Why can't that be in the libraries of the universities? Why can't this be in the libraries of the school? Why can't these books be in the public sector libraries? So that the employees during their break they can read
Yeah.
2 pages
Yes.
that 10 minutes, right? And they should know how they it is they have contributed for the nation development. So they should feel proud to read their own contribution. So that's a great idea. I think even the schools, children have to have this as a curriculum.
Yes.
Absolutely
Yes.
right.
Yeah. So what are your future plans, Karthik? Working on something else, or can you tell us?
Ma'am, the one more book probably. I need some break, to be honest. So I'm just planning to write one specific point is how the nation is leaping forward next a decade. More important, right? So that I'm just planning to write from June onwards. So again, need your wishes and God's wishes and blessings. So hope that's there for me.
And a future meeting with the Prime Minister?
Ma'am, to be honest, I think I met him way back in 2018 when I authored my first book called An Architect of New India. So that was the first book where, ma'am, I summarized how the welfare schemes have changed the country way back in 2018. That was just a glimpse of 30 seconds, but I don't know. I wish to see him and give this book personally, but it's all God's wish, ma'am.
Yeah. So your book is really about a man who walks the talk and delivered much more than what people expected. So thank you so much, Karthik.
Yeah, ma'am. Sorry. More than that, I would say that he has united 140 crore people. I mean, I would say that, that's the key part. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this wonderful session, and wish you all the luck and a lot of success to this wonderful.
I really thank you, ma'am. Really thank you so much for hosting me in the show again. Namaste.
Yeah. Jai Hind.
Jai.